Hello, it's Mr. Fitzwarren's dad here. I'm a maths teacher and I'm going to try and help you all to sort out this fractional problem. So, first of all, we're going to use 3 examples, all involving Mr. Fitzwarren's favourite thing, chocolate. So, we got 2 words here. You've got to get them the right way round. I always put that one at the top because it looks more balanced, it's smaller. So that's called the numerator, and that's called the denominator. So numerator actually means number in Latin. What we're going to do is we're going to have a chocolate bar. So you can see here we've got equal bits, so that's important. Most important thing actually about fractions is each part must be equal in size. So obviously chocolate's a good example because they are equal in size. So we got 15 nice scrummy bits of chocolate. So let's imagine now that Mr. Fitzwarren wants to have that much. He wants all that. So he wants 9 bits. So there are 15 bits altogether. You can calculate that. This is called an array. So it's 3 down and 5 across. It's called an array. So 3 5s make 15. So Mr. Fitzwarren wants 9 bits. It's not quite fair because he's got more than half, but that's another story. So 9 is the numerator, 15 is the denominator. So if we just move on, and I'll give you a little problem to try. So if we imagine this piece now, oh, we've gone wrong here. This is called an app called Explain Everything. It's really good. I'll do you a few videos and then you can start to learn it. So I'm just going to move the chocolate. So let's say Mr. Fitzwarren wants, same as before, he wants these 9 bits. So he's got 9 out of 15. And then he gets a bit peckish and he wants those 3 bits as well. So that's quite easy really because they're both out of 15. So all you do is you write 15 at the bottom and then you write down how many bits you got there. So 3. So sure enough, if you think about it, Mr. Fitzwarren had those 9 and then he's got those 3. So he had 12 15ths. Now you might get a question that talks about simplifying this. So I don't know if you can see, but something will divide into that and also to divide into that. And the answer is 3. Yeah, 3 goes into both. So that's 4. 12 divided by 3 goes to 4. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So it's 4/5. Now you can actually see that on the chocolate bar because if I divide that into 5 equal bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks as if Mr. Fitzwarren had 4 out of those. Well, yes, he did because he had these 3 to start with. Just make sure those are coloured in. And then he got peckish and he had that one as well. So he did have 4 out of the 5 bits. When I say bits, I mean columns really. So column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he had 4 out of the 5 columns. So let's just go on to a slightly harder bit. So let's just, we'll move the chocolate out of the way because it almost makes it too easy because you can visualize it. So let's just hide that. Forget the 15. So let's choose another number. So I'm just going to think of a number. So I'll choose, say, 12. And then I'll just choose another number at random, 7/12. And then I want to add, now last time we made these the same. We made the denominator the same. But it gets a bit tricky when you make these different. So if we say, I'll just make that, say, 4. And I'll make the top one 2. So if I change colour, If you're going to add these fractions, what you have to do is you have to make the bottom two numbers the same. Well, you can't do much to that. You can't halve it, because if you halve that to make 6, you'd have to halve the top, which would make 3.5, so that would just get too complicated. So the easiest thing to do, to be honest, would be to say, well, let's leave the 12 as it is, and then we'll make this bigger. Now, what you can do is say, well, 4 will actually go into 12, so if we multiply that by 3, we could change that to 12. But that doesn't seem quite fair, because we've multiplied that by 3, so we've got to multiply the top by 3. So that makes that. 2 3s makes 6. So what we got is I'm just going to change colour, and perhaps I'll try and do a highlighter so you can see it. We'll perhaps have a blue highlighter. So on this side we got 7 12ths, and on this side we got 6 12ths. So all you've got to do now, because these two are the same at the bottom, they're both 12ths, we can just add the top two numbers. So 7 plus 6 makes 13. So the answer is 13 12ths. Now that's a bit tricky in itself, because the bigger number is bigger. The top number, the numerator, is bigger than the denominator. So we have to then simplify it, and we say, well, actually, imagine that was chocolate again. We'd have 12 bits of chocolate, which would make one whole chocolate bar, and then we would have 1/12 left over. So the answer's 1 and 1/12. If you've enjoyed this, if you found it useful, tell Mr. Fitzwarren and I'll do you another video, maybe subtracting fractions. Hope you have a brilliant day down there in Brighton. Bye.